Make sure y'all are getting to see what's up. Yep, that's the right one. Good, good. One down, one to go. Hey, looks like I got them both. Yay. Hi, everyone. This Ebony, she's going to pretend like she's not on camera because she doesn't like it.
Didn't know you was going to call me out.
But she did give you permission to get to see, so it's okay. Because that's so kind of you.
I don't want to say the wrong thing.
You don't have to say, there's no wrong. We're just hanging out.
Okay.
Alright, we're just hanging out.
Okay.
We did her fun nails a month ago. This is, I believe, one of these Beauty Innovation colors. And juxtapose is this great teal, some foil, some blue, some foil. They're all going away. But everyone sing a little happy birthday to Ebony because she wants longer nails for her birthday. And that is not super uncommon. So, birthday nails are a thing. What day is your actual birthday? Is it today?
No, it was January 13th.
Oh, I thought these were supposed to be birthday nails.
They were, but I couldn't get over it. So I had to do just a regular, and then I'm like, okay, when I finally,
you could talk to me. I will make it happen.
Yeah.
Back just a smidge.
So yeah, I'm not Aquarius, I'm a Capricorn.
Alright. Me too.
Yeah.
Capricorns unite.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm like, barely a Capricorn, I guess. I don't know. I don't know much about all the astrology stuff. It's beyond me.
I just like it that we end the year and start the year. So.
Oh. It begins and ends with us, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Good point, good point. So we're moving her color, and I'm thinning out the free edge quite a lot, pretty much down to her natural nail. Then I'll be putting a form on and extending. So she got here a little while ago. We have been talking shape and colors and length, so I could get stuff out and have an idea of what the heck we're doing. Because that is often a question. Oh, it looks like we did juxtapose under blue foil on that one. And glitter. And all the stuff. I'm using my coarse zebra sanding bands. I love them because they don't get super hot and they take off the product really quickly, as you can see. I don't like staying on the nail a really long time, and I find that a lot of other bits, you're on the nail for so long, and I'm not a fan of that. My speed is almost all the way up. Not quite. Hi Nadia. Thanks for Thanks for joining us. It's really rare that I see any lifting, especially Ebony doesn't have problems. I don't have problems with most clients with Trinity, but as a general rule, when I'm going around the cuticle area, I tend to feather up with my sanding band. So if you see me kind of do this, it's a very light touch and I'm staying on the gel. And if there happens to be any lift above where I'm doing that, it will just kind of come right off. So very unusual to see any lift at all. Yeah. Dust. We have Angela, Robin, Penny. Hi, ladies. Angela, my prayers are out to you, girl. Thinking about you. She is battling the battle. That girl. She's strong. Her daughter looks just like her. She's so cute. Alright. Pan number 2. So it shouldn't take you a super long time to be removing product. If you're not able to get your product off, I'd say within 15 minutes, you're going to want to see why. You should be able to remove your old color and thin out the nails in about 15 minutes or less. So when you're thinking of how long does it take you to do nails, In one of the classes I talk about, checking your time and how to stay on time and how long should each thing take. There's no, cardinal rule, this should take this long. But in general, a lot of clients don't want to be in a 3-hour appointment. There's certainly a few far in between that do. They want to hang out all day. We like them too. But in general, people have things to do. Especially my clients who come during their lunch hours, have a busy job, so they want to be in and out in an hour. So a lot of it is figuring out how long it takes you to do each part of your service so that you know. Full sets though are a couple hours long usually, because you've got to put on forms and then put on product and then finish file. And the finish filing is the major addition, of course, as in addition to more product. But I'd say between a fill for regular service and a new set, it's finish filing that new product that's like the majority of the extra time. And if you're layering product, usually with a full set, I showed a full set a few days ago as well, and it's not one step of gel like I do with a fill. It's 2 steps because you got to get an arch in there for a new set, and you have to put in, I usually do 2 steps. An arch with extension and then around the cuticle area. If you try to do it all in one step, a lot of times you end up spending more time just messing with it to try to get it in the right place and not hit the cuticle and all of that jazz. So you spend so much extra time doing that you run too much over. Linda, good morning from the island of Kauai. Oh, you're on vacation. Well, that's exciting. I bet you're loving that. She's usually in BC, which it's been colder in BC lately, of course, wintertime, but we had a gorgeous day. Did you get out the other day when it was like in the 60s? I felt like I could go outside in a t-shirt. There's a vast difference from a few weeks ago when it was like in the teens.
Oh, yeah.
It was so cold. Of course, we don't deal with snow like most of the country.
I was freezing.
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold.
Yeah, it was cold for my birthday.
Rude.
Well, that's another thing about being a winter baby.
You might get snow? I usually don't get snow. It snows at Christmas time if I'm out of the country. Almost every time. If I leave the country, then people are like, oh, it's snowing! And I'm like, yeah, you're welcome. Because I left. And I had a neighbor in my old place, and whenever I would leave, he would keep up with, like, he'd go to my house and, like, walk around my car so it looked like someone was home. Yeah. Because it's snow. Mm-hmm. And then, but it's every time. Every time I'm not around, it snows. Hey, Tammy. Glad to join us for as long as you can. See, okay, this one is the tricky one because it's real annoying that the, what is this, Facebook likes to disappear. April, good morning from Alaska. Hello, April. I love April. She's so fun.
What's the natural nail shape?
What do you mean? Your natural nail shape? It's whatever I file it, is what the natural nail shape is.
Like how the nail grow out.
The nail grows out from side to side. Yeah. So if you file the end like square, then it's going to look square. If you file the end almond, it's going to look almond.
But when it grows out?
It grows out from here to here. I guess technically square because it grows out from side to side. But if you file it in an almond shape, it's still grown out side to side. You've just changed the very tip of it.
But why do they act like round is like the natural?
Because people break off their natural nail corners most of the time, and they become round if they're wearing their nails with just nails.
Oh, okay.
Because it's hard to keep a different shape with the natural nail. But that's not the same for everybody. Some people look kind of weird. Their hands look weird in a different shape. You have a rounded nail bed, so you kind of can go with any shape and it's going to look fine.
Oh, I do. That's what I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, so if you look at your cuticle shape here, it's rounded, okay?
Okay.
This one, thumbs are almost always square. Do you see how it's from side to side? Yeah. Almost always. Mine is extremely square also, but your cuticle shape is rounded, so you can see that it's rounded. So when some people are like, I don't know what shape to do, as a nail tech, and if this is for you baby nail techs out there, if someone doesn't know what shape they want at all, like they have no pictures, they're clueless, mimic the shape of their cuticle shape, or a square cuticle shape, which is why I typically will start with square. It's very unusual that someone has a real almondy shape, cuticle shape, but almond will typically look good on just about every nail as long as it's not too short. If you're trying to make an almond on a super short nail, sometimes it doesn't look super, super great. But
okay.
All right. Linda says it's been in the teens Celsius. Which I don't know Celsius, but that's like 66. When people say that, sometimes I'm like, okay, hold on. I have to ask Google what kind of temperature you're talking about. Anyone figured out how to make the comments not disappear on Facebook and you can tell me, that'd be great, because that's just real annoying. I don't know why it does that. I can't believe they haven't fixed it yet. It's been like years since they started doing that, and I think it's the dumbest thing. Like, I understand if you want to give people the option of having them disappear on them, but if I'm not constantly looking down, then I'm going to miss the comments. So I'll try to touch the screen now and then. So this is my 2S bit. This is my favorite prep bit. It gets in all the sides. It really preps under the cuticle and pushes it up a little bit more. When I started using this bit, I've been, using an e-file for years after not wanting to use an e-file for years. I went probably 6 years doing nails, and my dear friend Vicki, I'd gone to 2 or 3 of her electric file classes. I was still nervous. I didn't want to do it. I was like, that's okay. I just won't do it. I'll just keep hand filing it. And she's like, shut up and do it. Because that's how she was. And I was like, okay. And so I started out first just taking down like length. Okay, I can do that. I can take down length and it's not so scary. And I would just take down length. And then I started doing backfills. So back in the day, we used to use pink and white product to create a French. Pink and white building product, because it was before gel polish existed, because I'm that old.
Stop.
It's true. I've been doing this a long time. It's always interesting when someone goes, how long have you been doing nails? And I'm like 23 years. And they're like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, I'm old. 22, 23 years.
No, what got me was, it was a meme. It was like, what was it? Dang, I forgot. It was something about like 30 years ago. And then we're so used to saying like, oh, that was like in the 70s. No, that's like the 90s. I'm like, oh my God.
I know. It's
I'm
harsh.
getting old.
Harsh. Very, very harsh. We'll be watching Friends with my daughter and my nephew who stays here. And because they'd never seen it, of course. And they're loving it. It's hilarious. Like, I look over and one or both of them are cracking up at some point in every show, because that's what Friends is, right? But it's just funny because most of the time it's just all just still so relevant, until like the last show we watched was when Chandler was trying to get back a girl that was on the phone. And so he's like calling the answering machine and hanging up, and he's like trying to get on the other line and check to see that there's, it's working and all this stuff. And it's just so funny because it's not a phone.
Yeah.
I saw a really funny like TikTok or whatever the other day, and it was like they were asking people, a mom and daughter, like, how do you pick up the phone? And like, we do this, and they go, we do this. Like, it was just like all these different things they do differently. It was funny, and at the same time, like, oh my gosh, it's so true. Things are so different.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Victoria joining us. She loves my work. Thanks, Victoria. And she's from Detroit. Hello, Sammy. She's excited she caught it live. Hello, everybody. I am trying to get better about my lives. it did take me a while to get it set up because it didn't want to. I had to just restart the dang thing. So a lot of times I don't have extra time to fiddle with it because they're real world nails, y'all. This is real time. But I blocked out a little extra time after Ebony to make sure that we had time to do all the fabulousness.
Oh, okay. That's a smash. Okay.
We have to make sure it's all good in the hood. All right, so just going to go around and trim up anything extra. Now, what's great is that since I started using that 2S bit, because I went on a total tangent, a lot of cuticles are in just such better condition for most of my clients. It makes a huge difference. One of my clients, I talked about her before, she just used to have such thick cuticles every time. And within 2 weeks, they were just crazy thick. She doesn't get them anymore. She gets just normal thickness now. And that's only since using the bit. So it is an amazing little bit. And most clients really like it because they feel like, oh, it's like getting a teeth cleaning. Like everything gets all cleaned up. But I have one, ironically, I have one client who's a dentist that hates it.
Oh, really?
It has that for some irony right there. So yeah, she does not like it at all. But most everyone else seems to really like that part of it just because it gets everything cleaned right up. AJ, good morning. AJ sent me just a random text last night that she's loving her heart nails, so that's good. Speaking of, if you saw my live the other day, I was showing you the little hearts that I have on, and I said they just came in. I haven't put them online yet, but they are online now. So if you are looking for another awesome design to be able to offer your clients, these are they're in the decal or pasty area. These little hearts. This is the rose gold ones. They're real pretty. So they are available now. There's gold, silver, and rose gold. My goal is to try to stay in frame for you guys the whole time. Mm-hmm. You laugh as though it shouldn't be that hard, but sometimes I'm like all over the place. I figured out that I needed to move my head on the picture-in-picture so that it wasn't in the way. So if someone has some callus or some thick skin, you can get in there, but just be careful that you don't go too far. You only want to remove the thick skin, and then I'll hit that with my file in a little bit, and that will make it even smoother. And some clients are just so happy about that. I have one that she's like, you didn't file my fingers. And I'm like, that's okay. It doesn't seem, no, I need you to file my fingers. Because she gets the buildup on both sides that she wants gone always. Oh. Okay, hold on. Takes me like only a minute. I can do that. But it's a rarity. Not everybody gets that. Chris's Nail Palace says, you have gorgeous natural nails.
Oh, thank you.
She's all shy. I'm sure if I could tell if she was blushing, she'd be blushing a little bit.
Because I've been watching.
Ebony is so funny because 90% of the time she comes in and she's like, I don't know what I want. Pick something, And so then I kind of got to drag out of her what she wants, but she doesn't know she wants. And then we go from there. But today we have pictures galore and some shape questions. We were discussing shape and length. She showed me a couple of pictures and about the length, but they were actually two very different lengths. And so I had to show her how to get the good length. You started using it and see a huge difference as well, Tammy said. That bit is magic. Yes. All right, so new file. Make sure you take an old file. This is usually the file I used on the last client. A lot of times I do this at the end of my service between clients. But I'd like to show you all doing this to make sure you don't skimp on this little bit because it's super important to make sure that comes away. Oh, Jotana! She said, hi, beautiful. So I'm sure she talked about you, not me. Hello to you. I think Jotana's going to join us at camp this year. If I think so. I haven't seen any classes come through yet, but she did say she was planning on it, I think. So I'm just going to make sure that my end is thinned out really well, because with building a new extension, I kind of want to make sure that the product is going directly onto her natural nail as well to get a really good extension out of it. Now she wants to go almond, and she wants to go about here. So basically the length of the white of your nail times 2 more. That's about right. That's going to be the end of the almond, and then it's going to go down. We can always shorten a bit, but from the pictures and conversation we had, I'm thinking that's where we're going to start.
Okay.
Like that. I don't know. So I'm removing product on the end, so you might see it flake like that, which is fine. Because I'm taking it away, it should come off.
It's my first time.
First time going longer?
Well, getting a new set with the old product on. Usually I try to soak it off or whatever.
This don't soak off.
Huh?
Not for me, you don't, because this would never soak off.
No.
Before you're coming to me.
Mm-hmm.
You've been coming to me a long time, though. It's been years. Didn't you start coming to me when I was in Bellevue?
Yeah, Bellevue.
Yeah, long time. So you haven't had, well, you might have had to get a new set after COVID, because that was when most people had to get new sets.
So when I was doing acrylic, I would have to soak it off. Or if I went to the shop and they did it. But they will always clip your nails.
Mm-hmm. There's reasons for that. It's easier for them to glue a tip on to a nail if there's not extra nail for them to mess with. Mm-hmm. In competition, we definitely go all the way to the nail bed, because when you put a form on, you don't want to have any line where you can feel the difference. And so if you can bump your form all the way to the end of the nail bed, then you're not going to have any kind of a ridge underneath the nail. So you do that in competition. Oh, okay. But for salon nails, it's not really necessary. You know, and you think of the natural nail as kind of a natural tip. Like, I can remove it, but then it's gonna take longer for your own nail to grow back out, and your nails are gonna be strongest when your natural nail is underneath them. So that's what we like to do.
So you said that you can't soak off your nails.
No.
And you know, I was telling you about like the new poly gel or whatever.
Well, that isn't new, but new to you. Yes.
And they soak it up.
Because polygel is an acrylic soft gel mix. So when you have an acrylic product mixed with a gel that soaks off, you can soak it off. If you have a soak off gel, you can soak it off. This is not a soak off gel. This is a gel that's non-porous, which means nothing can get there and penetrate into the gel to soak it off. So there's, you know, it's interesting because a lot of nail techs when they're new are like, I have to make sure I have something that soaks off. And I'm like, because why? It's not necessary. A lot of times chemistry-wise, you're going to get a harder nail with a gel that does not soak off. Your soak-off gels are just always going to be softer and more flexible. And for a lot of people that want that kind of hard acrylic nail feel almost, do you know great pop-off method? Oh, I don't do those pop-off methods. Those pop-off methods are bad. Because what you're doing is you're separating the product with a layer of their natural nail from their natural nail. So you're never going to be removing just the product. You're always removing and damaging part of the natural nail with that. So when people take like a tip, it makes me cringe.
Yeah, I saw that too.
No, that's bad. Don't do that.
Well, you know, now everybody, they feel like, oh, I can do it myself. I don't save the money. Like,
good luck.
I
don't like doing my own nails. It takes me forever. Melissa said, cringe. Ditto. I can't do it. Let's see.
I don't even want to do my grandma nails.
Huh?
I said, I don't even want to do my grandma nails. Like, polish them.
It was so funny. Someone was talking, I don't know how I got on the subject, but I've never done Jared's toes. And he's like, is there a reason you don't like my feet? I'm like, no, your feet are fine. They're totally, you have actually extremely nice feet for a guy. I just have no desire to do anything with them. Like, all you do is clip your toenails. You don't need them scrubbed. You don't need them nothing. So, you know, the last thing I need is for him to get all excited about a foot massage, and then he's asking me all the time.
Yeah. She looks at my nails and she's like, why are you not doing them like yours? I'm like, no.
Why are you not doing your grandma's nails like the way I did yours?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's funny.
Girl will be in the hospital. No.
Nice. Love the color of my nails. So my nails are a combination. The color is a layer of Delicate and then a layer of the new lipstick. So I actually kind of asked for lipstick maybe from Accents a year or two ago. I said we need a clear pink. And so in response they made like basically a whole collection of clear colors. Not totally clear, just like semi-translucent, but pink especially because I do have clients that want a little bit more pink with their French or whatever. And so Delicate's nice, but it isn't super pink all by itself. It's pinker than blush for sure. But you know, sometimes you have clients that just want a little extra pink. So this is a coat of Delicate and a coat of blush, and you get this pinker nail bed color. So I was trying it out. Mainly I have a client that does French a lot with pink, and it's never pink enough. And so I told her I would do this, and then if she likes it, we will do her next fill like this, so that she can have a pinker nail bed. So
what's the pinker nail bed? That's like the color of your nail bed, or
yeah.
what?
So it's pretty darn pink. And it's, you know, not for everybody. I do blush way more often than I do pink with the French. People like the more neutral French, I'd say, for the most part.
That's what I like.
But she has me do pink Trinity and then the pink color because she wants pink.
There's only certain pinks I like. I like that hot pink, like the soft pink, like yours. And it's another one that's like a little lighter than yours.
Alright, so we're prepping the last nail. So this is how you get really good prep, is you need to make sure that you've covered the entire surface of the nail. And then even though I went around the cuticle with that bit, I always go around with the top of my file. They're shaped like this for a reason. Okay, this is so that you can hit the top of the cuticle and get in those corners really nicely. And you want to massage all the way around the cuticle. And that's just going to make sure that you have a really good prep and very little lifting. Okay, this is my 100-180 grit. And I am using the 100 side. And people always go, oh my gosh. And I'm like, it's a 100-180, but if you have really felt a lot of files in your life, this 100-180 is kind of a smooth 180. Real smooth 180 and kind of a smooth 100. So I would say for some files, the 100 feels like a 180. It kind of just depends on the brand you get. But I like to make sure the prep is really good because, as you can see, she had no lifting, and you're not going to get that if you don't prep super, super good. So.
I was getting ready to ask you, so if a person do get a lot of lifting, is it them or is it the tech?
It's the tech. 90% of the time it's the tech. There are exceptions to the rule. I do have a client who pocket lifts everything because her nail grows like this, right? And so as it grows out, the product doesn't grow like this because it's like a hard top. So I end up with pocket lifting on her. I just end up removing more nails more often and redoing them. It's like one in particular client. Everybody else, not often. I have one that goes in phases, you know. She hasn't had a problem in a while, but she gets free edge lifting sometimes. But like I said, it's super rare, random. Hey, Stacy just popped in to say hey. Oh, I see a question. Shops did that too. The tip or business card hurts like a mother. Yeah. I feel like the pinks change colors after time. It happened to me with most lice pinks. Jay, that is correct. The reason is because pink pigment has a half-life of a certain amount of time. So the more it's exposed to air and time, your pinks are going to lose their pigment. It's going to start turning more white. You won't see that as much with brighter pinks. For example, we are going to be using Divine on her today, which is this great color. So we're using a combination of things. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff on hers today. But this Divine pink, these darker pinks, I don't really see that happening as much with lighter pinks. Delicate, I definitely see it happening more with, where you start to lose that pigment color a little bit. It's kind of annoying. All right, these are my Elena forms. They're my favorite.
Why?
Because they're bigger and they're real sticky, so they don't like come off. The Accents forms, I think Elena's designing some new Accents forms. The original Accents forms, Pro Tab forms, are great for short nail, quick salon repairs. I'll use those instead of these. But if I'm going to be sculpturing out a new extension, I definitely want these. She has such a nice, natural, deep smile line, which is another reason it's good to keep some natural nail, because if I had taken all her natural nail away, I'm going to have to make sure I cut every single form with a really deep smile line to get them to fit. This one's a little closer to the shape of the form. But you see how deep this one is? If I had cut that all the way short, I've got to cut a ton of product to make sure that that's deep enough. But because I left some natural nail there, I don't have to do that. You want to make sure your form is coming out straight. We're going almond so it can go down a little bit. Because when I go to shape this, or it can go up. They're not long enough that it's like I have to have the right angle of form. If I'm making real long stilettos, I'd have to look at my notes because I honestly don't do them very often. But the change in the angle of the form, whether it's up leaning high or down low, I believe stilettos you got to keep it down low because otherwise you end up filing off that tip really easily. So I do that with my almond. They're always down a little bit so that I'm not filing and your nail doesn't look like that, you know. So the forms are going to be angling down a little smidge just so that when I am filing, it all will look correctly.
Would you have to do that with coffin and square too, or is it different?
Different. Yeah, I took a class from Elena on forms. It was literally an entire day class. And if you're a nail tech and you want your head to go, do that. There's a lot of math and numbers, and I don't do math so well. But, if you are wanting a very intense form class, that is the way to go. But it's very different when you're talking competition nails versus salon nails. Like I said, if in competition, I would have to remove all of that extension, all of it. In some competitions, you are allowed to prep your forms. So that wouldn't be such a big deal in those competitions because I could sit there and get them all pre-cut and ready, and then people just stick them on their light. And so you'll have 1 through 10, and so you'll know that you're grabbing each one, and it's already pre-cut. But that's how it is. Hi Chris, new subscriber. What kind of product do you use? I'm going to be using all Accents gels today. It is my product of choice for the most part. I love Accents. I've been using it for not all of the time I've been doing nails, but most of it. I've been educating for Accents longer than anyone in the States. I started doing it, I'm just going to feel aged. I've been educating for Accents since I was probably 3 years out, so by 2004, so 20 years, I think, I've been educating with Accents. So there's a little smidge of natural nail here. You can get rid of that if you want. I'm not. It can stay. I'm not mad at it. It's okay. These forms are Elena Osman forms, and she is the world champion many times over from Germany. And I import them from Germany and they're on my website. So I just want to make sure that this has got that little bit of downward slope because I'm going to be doing an almond. Okay. Looks good. What you want to make sure you're seeing, let's see if we can focus it, is when you look down the barrel of your forms. Oh, that takes longer here. Can I see it? Can I see it? When you look, okay, good, I can see now. There's a delay. When you look down the barrel of your forms, you want to make sure, did I move the camera? Hello. There we go. That your form is touching completely underneath here. There you go. It's such a delay, it's so hard to see. So these need to be completely flush, okay? That is your goal in life when it comes to forms. As flush as possible. Kruger hands?
No, I was thinking Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands. I knew it was one of them. It is what we hear. Okay. Again, when I fit forms, I try to go down in the middle, then I'm pushing it in, rocking it up, touching the side, looking down the barrel, and then squeezing them together, trying to make that line right in the center. Then I'm going to, oh, I squeezed that all crooked. I'm going to redo that one. It's talking instead of doing. Sometimes that's the problem. How do I feel about Light Elegance products? I haven't used them a whole lot. I think Jim is super cool. He's an amazing scientist. That's who mixes all of Light Elegance gels. Accents has their own team of like 4 chemists that mix all of Accents gels in-house. So similar in that, you know, it's great that they have a chemist that does their own stuff. I have some Light Elegance glitter gels, but man, they smell. The smell really, really bothers me with those products. And for at least a decade, they did not have a gel that worked anything like Accents Natural, which is the builder gel that I used forever until I got used to the newer gels that are out now. It's interesting. So if you look at the gap, let me show. If you look at how these overlap compared to these, it's because her nails grow at a different angle on each of these. So if you needed to, if you're doing competition, you would want to make sure that you're getting the same kind of overlap on each nail, which is another reason you go all the way to the very end. But in salon nails, you don't have to do that. Salon nails are not competition nails, you guys, so you really have to make sure you're not doing crazy things. Cecile says, those are my favorite forms. I agree. They're amazing. You have a trick to get the form on even. I just want to tell you how much I love Accents Builder Gels and the primer you recommended, Trinity, and to fix it, I have nothing, had no lifting. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And Melissa says she's excited about cake. It's hard to keep track of these. If you see one pop up, you're welcome to read to me. But I know you're like, just watching what I'm doing too. All right. A trick to getting them on, number 1, having a good thick form is really helpful. These forms are nice and thick. They really stay in the right place. Rock it up. When you go to close it, try to close these sides perfectly together as they line up, so that when you look at the end of this, you don't get too much of an overlap here. I try to get them super perfect. If I was in competition, you will see a lot of people actually close the end of their forms first, like this, to make sure that it's completely lined up, and then they'll fit it on. So there's different ways of doing it. Some nail techs like to do like this. I see it a lot in Canada, where they'll actually hold their form like this and then rock it up. And that's fine too. It is so much easier having some natural nail to fit a form under than when you've just got to stick it to the end. However, if you're just sticking it to the end, you can get much more array of shapes because you can really angle it differently. Okay. Tammy says she agrees that Light Elegance gives her a headache. But there's nothing wrong with their gel, for sure. It's definitely a perfectly fine gel. But the smell bothered me and the runniness bothered me. I don't want to chase my gel at all. So you'll see me use a runnier gel when I'm doing fills. I use Trinity, which is definitely a self-leveling runnier gel. But I don't chase it. I flash cure it. And for a long time, teaching me to flash cure a gel, I was like, no, I want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. All right, so we're going pink. And I was going to show you guys with structure, but we're actually not doing a long enough nail for structure now that I know how long her long is. Because I thought she was trying to go super stiletto on me today, but she was not. She's like, oh no, I'd be here in 2 days and not be able to function. So we're going longer, but we're not going insanely longer. We're going to basically be going just past the 2 on these, because I don't think the top of the 3, I don't think you want them that long.
Wait, where's the 3?
Yeah.
You're like in the middle of 2
to
and
3?
3. Yeah.
All right, then I'm going to make it go to the 3 then, because that way I have something to file. Because if you go too short, then you're never going to get to the length they want, because you always have to file it.
But you have to do that anyway with almond too, right? They have to be longer because you have to shape
I have to
them.
be able to file them no matter what.
Or, excuse me, file, not shape.
Yeah, well, it's true. Shaping is filing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yes, you need to be able to shape them, so it's true. All right. Oh, Akari! Akari's watching! I love you, Akari! I'm so excited. So Akari is my cousin Mark's... You want me to fix it?
Yeah.
Akari is my cousin Mark's girlfriend, whom the entire family loves so very much. All right, I can't make it do it. We love her so much. I got to hang out with her. She helped me with the nail camp cruise stuff for the cruise that left out of LA in October. The one where I broke my back. But she helped do all the swag bags, y'all. She's a gem. She's amazing. And my mom wants to see an old friend. She made her a quilt. And that old friend has Parkinson's. And so we don't think she's going to be traveling anytime soon. And so in order to see her and give her her quilt, we are going to head down on Valentine's Day. So I'll have to do something nice for my Valentine's before I go. But we get to spend the week with them, and I'm so excited.
Nice.
I know.
Okay, so rewind. You were saying about you're putting pink, and if the nail was longer, you would have used something else.
I would have used structure. So I'm using, this is my Balance Foundation blush. This is my favorite builder product. I only discovered this actually at Elena's class. Because the original of this product, the first batch that the chemist came out with, was terrible. It was so thick, I couldn't do anything with it. It didn't cure through because it was so overly pigmented. I think I did 1 set of nails and they didn't cure, and it was a pain in the butt to use. I'm like, I'm never using it again. And at her class, go ahead and put that in the light for me. At her class, she starts doing a nail with it, and I'm like, what are you using? I've never seen this product. She goes, it's Balance Foundation Blush. I'm like, no, it's not. And she goes, oh, yeah, they fixed it pretty quickly. I'm like, tell us, because I would have never opened another jar ever. If you would have told me that you changed the formula and improved it years ago, I would have been using it all this time for any new sets. I had no idea. Like, I'm not going to open another jar of product that I hated. But they've reformulated it, and now it's like heaven to use. All right, so I am using X-Bond. I probably should talk about what it is I'm using right now. So the Balance gels are a thicker viscosity gel. They don't really self-level on their own, but they're real creamy and easy to use. But they don't have bonding gel built in like Trinity does. So you need to put a base gel down. And just for ease of use, I'm just using X-Bond. It's also an extremely strong bonder, really, really bonds well. And I don't have to scrub it in. I just make sure that I have the entire nail plate covered. And then put it in. All right, go ahead. Do you use Trinity as your bonder anymore? I do if I'm doing just a quick repair of a fill, or if that's what I have out or whatever, you totally can. There's no, it doesn't matter. You can. If I'm doing just a repair, like say someone breaks a corner and I need to add some product into that corner or something, or they've had an entire nail lift off, I'll just use Trinity because what I'm using anyway. But for a full set like this, I'll just get out the X-Bond and put it all on. It's totally fine. I was taught to close the form at the end first. And Linda, where are you from? Canada. Told you, this is how Canadians do it. So yes, when you are a Canadian, you're going to learn to close it and leave it on there like I did that thumb. That's extremely common. Not as common in the US to see it done like that, but it's definitely done. There's no right or wrong way. All right. So I'm going to try to put this here so you all know what gel I'm using. So I'm using this gorgeous giant brush. This is the one that I was looking for the other day, and it was buried under some other brushes because I don't build a lot of full sets. But I love this brush for full sets because look how much product I can work in one shot. Okay, and then I'm just going to use the very tip of it to kind of baby the gel a little bit, try to get some of the low spots down. I'm going to be finish filing, but if I don't want to have to build up a ton of extra product, getting those low spots down is helpful. So this is the Ugly Duckling Gel 10 brush. This brush is super amazing. I used to have the first one after the first on the Brush Builder gel stuff. It did. It sucked a lot. What are you applying? I'm applying this. So, questions. Balanced Foundation Blush after the X-Bond. So this Gel 10 brush, like I said, it's just a nice big brush for me to be able to grab a ton of gel. I didn't actually grab enough that time. But my goal is to grab enough gel to do from the arch all the way down to the extension. Got a little bit on the head of it. All the way down to the extension. I got a little too much on there. And then I'm just going to baby it around a bit. So what's ending up happening is that her nails are actually about a 1-to-1 ratio, which I consider a longer nail. What does a 1-to-1 ratio mean, Jess? 1-to-1 ratio means from the cuticle to her natural nail bed end, from her natural nail bed end to the end of the extension. That's 1-to-1. Are you glad I just answered your question before you had to ask it?
I know, because
You're like, what?
No, I'm looking at it. I'm like, it looks kind of long.
Well, you said between 2 and 3. That's how long it gets. Am I guessing that you're going to be like, oh my God, it's too long? She's over here realizing maybe not that long. So, when that happens, before I continue to make them too long.
No, you can do it. I'm just saying, it's been a long time.
It's been a while. It's been a minute.
I've been a short girl for...
What's your grandma going to think about your nails all long?
Oh, she likes long nails.
Oh, she's going to be all excited.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So I'm taking that big blob of gel, rolling it off onto the nail, and then using circular motions and trying to keep my brush in the gel. I'm moving it down to the extension. And then I'm just going to kind of give it a little do. I don't know how it popped up last night, like late at night. I think like 1:30 in the morning. I was doing something and Ronan popped up again on my YouTube. And I'm like, oh, I have to watch it again. And then it just makes me cry. Every time. And I'm like, oh, I gotta go to bed now. I haven't cried. Don't know what I'm talking about. It's a Taylor Swift song. And she wrote it. Huh?
I'm tired of Taylor Swift.
I know, everyone's tired because she's the chief thing. But maybe that's why it popped up, is because everyone's Taylor Swifting these days. And so it popped up, but it's an older song, but it was written because Taylor used to read a blog of a mom that had a boy that ended up dying of cancer at 4 years old. And that song she wrote kind of and used him as the inspiration for it, whatever, and did it at a Stand Up for Cancer thing that she went and did. And it is for real tearjerker every time. Every time. I don't care that I've heard it like 50 times. It still like gets you in all the feels. So, you know, if you need a good cry, watch Ronan, the video. If you don't want to cry, then I recommend not watching it, because if you don't cry, you probably are dead inside.
Yeah, it's just...
I know.
The Super Bowl, I don't know how I'm going to be. Cause
it's like,
about her.
Okay, like, I think people need to remember that, yes, they might show her for about a minute and a half, but the Super Bowl's 4 hours long. So you really have to kind of just take that into consideration, that I think the people that might be a little more mad are the people that are watching the Super Bowl that are like, they're not going to show me on the Jumbotron because they're just going to show Taylor Swift. They're the only ones that should get mad about it, because who else cares, right? I just want to see what she's wearing, because that's really what is she wearing? Is it something cute this time?
They're showing her more than the owner.
How much do you want to look at him, though? Oh, we have to give a shout out. Did you see yesterday? We officially have a new coach for the Seahawks.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that could be really good. He's been a big defensive coordinator for a team that's had amazing defense. And y'all, that is what I want. All right, so you're going to go in and out every 2 or 3 seconds, and then out. You're going to go out for double as long. So come on out and leave it out like 6 seconds. Make sure your fingers are out of the light, and that's going to slow down those molecules. So if you're new and you're not really sure why gel gets warm, it's chemistry. So you have a liquid product turning into a solid product. If you remember back from your chemistry days, I should quiz my daughter. It's her lowest grade right now is in chemistry. A liquid product, the molecules are just moving around all over the place. And then a solid product, the molecules are stuck. So you've got molecules moving around, and when it's going through this chemical reaction where the photoinitiators are causing it to go from a liquid to a solid, those molecules speed up. And they go real fast until they freeze. And that is molecules bumping against each other and creating friction. So what happens when you rub your hands together and create friction? They get hot. So you've got molecules rubbing against each other, creating friction, and once they have frozen, it won't get hot. That's why you can put your hand in a light that's completely cured, and it'll never get hot, because those molecules are stuck in that position. So see all that gel I'm getting on there? Just tons of gel. Hold your brush sideways, push down and roll it off. Oh, I got a little bit right there. Don't want it on the cuticle. I can get on the nail bed, but I don't want it on the cuticle. And then this gel brush is just phenomenal for just really moving a lot of gel at once. When I do my fills, I use a flat brush with no belly, really important. That's like just way too much gel. I use a flat brush with no belly, but when you're sculpting a new nail, it is nice to have an oval brush. You can move the product a smidge easier. And we're going almond, so these are going to be narrowed out quite a bit, but I like to have something to file, and I don't want to have to add more product later. So it's better for me to make them a little bit wider than what they're going to be and file that shape in. If I was trying to compete, I'd be using way less product, because then competition nails have to be like a credit card thickness. So you're basically just glossing product on, and then when you file it, you're trying not to break it. Which, shout out to all the competition people out there who have broken a nail mid-file. Happens to everybody. Still finished though, because yes, you'll have points deducted for that one broken one. But when it comes to competitions, it's very interesting, and a lot of nail techs haven't competed at all, which is why we have competitions at Nail Camp, because competitions in the real world at a big trade show might be too scary for a lot of people, but they want to compete and see how it goes and see what they can learn. So competitions at Nail Camp are free and included. And it's a really good learning experience to see where you can improve, what you don't see, you know. I have lots of places I can improve. A lot of times I can see it. But there's, you know, when you really get down into wanting to compete, you really just see tons of improvement. I think Rosanna is an excellent example of a nail tech who was brand new pretty much when I met her I think we were at Nail Olympia. I think I met her before Nail Olympia, pretty sure, but that was like one of the big competitions I remember doing with her. And she was starting to do really well, but her nails at Nail Olympia are nowhere near the quality of her nails now. She's just learned so much, and her nails are amazing looking, so you really can learn a lot from competition. So this is a thick enough gel and not super self-leveling that I can flip it over and continue adding product. If you have a very runny gel, then you're going to find that you need to flash cure. But with this thick of a gel, you can't just flash cure like Trinity and in and out, because there's a lot more product on there. And if you flash cure just for a few seconds and then come out, you're going to end up with just the surface a little bit cured and not the whole thing cured. So I don't love flash curing a product where I'm adding this much onto it at once. And like I said, I don't go to the natural nail, the Cuticle, because I want to have, if you're dealing with that much product, it ends up being real sloppy, kind of a pain in the butt. Lisa says, and nobody complains when they show Jack Nicholson during the Lakers game. People just need to get over all the complaining. Oh, it's so funny.
Well, they're going to keep on showing her because they said like she made them like $300 million.
Yeah.
So
she's basically been worth did you guys read that? She's been worth $300 million in free marketing. Basically her just showing up. Whether it's people buying more Kelsey jerseys or whatever. Like, you better believe they're going to keep showing her then, because she's there and that's money for them.
More people's watching too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're like, well, if Taylor's watching it, maybe football's not all that bad, right? Which, it's funny because even Taylor was like, I didn't know football was so great. And she's now enjoying it, whereas before she probably couldn't tell you a single position that was on a football team. But it's different now, and so people are a little bit more interested. And it is fun to watch the Chiefs. They are a very good team to watch. And I have more respect for Patrick Mahomes after I watched the documentary. I think it's on Netflix, or Prime, or something. There was a documentary that followed 4 NFL players, and he was one of them. And oh my gosh, the amount of stuff he does every day just to be able to do what he does with all the workouts and the physical therapy, and I mean, he gets massages every day, which who's going to complain about that? But it was impressive. I was like, wow, okay, I have a little bit more respect for what you do to be able to do what you do, because that takes so much dedication. So it'll be interesting to see who ends up our quarterback, if it's going to be Gino or not. I don't know. I'm interested to see what this new coach does.
They said that they had took a vote and who to get rid of or whatever, because they said that they need a new team. They said everybody can go but Lockett. I guess he's very loved.
Yes. You can't take Lockett away. I will revolt. I will be on that team of no. There's other people I think that you definitely should keep, but I think Lockett is kind of, I think he's the Baldwin. You know, he was like Baldwin. You couldn't get rid of Baldwin either. He was amazing. But he retired, so that's how that happened. My camera. Sorry for all you that are watching nails but not wanting to talk about football. It's almost the Super Bowl. He's going to blame it on her. It's hilarious. I just can't believe what people pay for those tickets. Whew.
I know.
What concerts have you been to in the last couple of years? Anybody? Is that
a
enough?
long time for myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like being in a big crowd.
Oh.
Dealing with traffic and
Yeah, we went. I took my daughter to her first concert this year. We went and saw Ed Sheeran, which was super fun.
Oh, how was that?
It was great.
Oh.
And I luckily picked excellent seats.
Nice.
But yeah, it was really, really good. So I'm just trying to double check, make sure I don't have any low spots. So when I go to file, I got plenty to work with on my file. So if you look at them from the side, there's plenty of product here where my arch is high enough. And when I file around the cuticle and everything, I'm going to have plenty to work with. So that's how that is. Well, do you find the room temperature is warmer, the products will run it all? Abso-freaking-lutely. So the warmer your salon is, or sometimes even the warmer it is outside, the runnier your gel is going to be. It's not to say that it's on purpose, but some people use that as a benefit. So for a lot of nail techs, this might be, especially say you're in a competition, you don't want to be adding a lot of product, but you want to build the nail with this product, for example. So you need it to be thinner. You can use a heating pad and put your gel on a heating pad, and it will change your viscosity into a runnier gel. Same thing as in reverse. If you work in a salon that they turn their heat off all night, and it gets down to like freezing temperatures and then has to warm up the hour before you come in, your gel might have been sitting in in a cold salon for so long that it's now gotten really stiff, and you might need a heating pad just to get it back in the kind of workable shape. So yes, it's not necessarily that it's on purpose, but you can use that feature of gel, I guess you could say, to change how runny or how stiff your gel is. So a lot of times you will see that, especially from the European crew. I went and trained with Paulina in Poland many, many years ago, and she always works with her product warm. So she's got like just a little heating pad on her nail table, and her gels are all in the little heating pad with the heating pad over the top of them to keep them warm. Back in the day, when I had a paraffin dip running, and I did a lot of white gel when I used to do backfills, I didn't like how stiff my white gel was for the same reason. So I would always have my white gel sitting on top of the lid of my paraffin dip container, and that would warm my gel enough so that, and I would do it, it didn't take long. So a lot of times if I started my service and they're like, yeah, I want to do French. Well, this was back before we used gel polish for French at all. And I used pink and white. So I would pop my white jar onto my paraffin dip container, and I would remove and prep and shape and get it all ready. And by that time, the white was usually a lot runnier and easier to use. So I used to do that a lot. It looks as though this, if it doesn't self-level, it sure looks smooth after you applied it. I think it make a trip to Accents, picks them up. It is. It's way smoother to apply. It's not sticky, and a lot of thicker gels are kind of sticky and a little bit more difficult to move around. This one's like a dream. It's so nice for building a nail. I don't use this for fills because I'd have to finish file it unless I practiced and practiced and practiced and got it to where I could apply it as easily as Trinity, but I usually don't want this much thickness with a fill anyway. My fills are always quite thin, so I would just use Trinity. But we do have Trinity colors, and you could match the Trinity color to it if you have a client that literally just wears this color and puts no polish on it. I don't have anyone like that. So it's nice for full sets to use because I like how nice it looks and
yeah,
how nice it runs, which is really lovely. But it makes it real easy to build your extension up. So some people go, oh, gel just takes so much longer, and I'm like, but does it? Does it really? I mean, I guess some people can do a full set of acrylic and get that acrylic on there in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, because the acrylic, it dries real fast. That's the
it
reason why
does.
it be thick, right?
No.
Oh.
If it's thicker, it's the application that's being done. If you are going to a really good nail tech, their acrylic nails should look no different than their gel nails. That's all the nail tech and their shaping. Like there's competitions where it's called perfect match, and you have to, well, a lot of times perfect match now is 2 different nail techs, and their nail styles and everything have to match. But sometimes they have acrylic and gel, and so your hands have to match. They have to be the exact same color and look and everything. So again, if you wanted to remember, this is the Gel 10 brush. This is Ugly Duckling brush. I do carry Ugly Duckling products, also a Canadian product, really, really nice. But their brushes are amazing. So these are nice. They come with a lid, so I can throw them in my drawer and they don't get all gunked up or anything. That is that. With that, what clear gel can you use to encapsulate glitter? You can use any of them. I would probably use Trinity just because it'll get around the edges of the glitter and kind of build it in. We are going to be doing some glitter tonight. This one that I sent you guys, I have it in a larger jar, but if you've been ordering from me the last couple of weeks, and for the next week, I believe, I'll be sending out this glitter. So we're going to be doing one of her nails with that, and so I will show you how to encapsulate it. Alright, I have to check this here. Studies are showing way more women are watching. Clients are here, gotta look. Bye, Lisa! She probably already popped out. She's off to do nails too. I finally got to meet Lisa on the last nail cruise. She's also an educator. And she'll be here for camp. I gotta get her class information. Working on the website for camp, y'all, I promise. Did this get a full? Full cure?
Did it?
I don't know. Probably. Give it another like 20 seconds. Just want to make sure it's real good and cured before I file. What's in your cup today? This is mine. There's ice. I know you're not surprised. It's the good ice. Alright, so I'm going to get a wipe ready. This is an Amenda pump with about 75% prep and wipe and 25% acetone. The main reason for that is because I do a lot of stamping, and that helps wipe off any polish that's gotten onto the skin when I'm stamping. I stamped a really pretty lace set. I forgot to take a picture the other day. Sorry. I forget. I do. My clients need to be like, take a picture of my nails. Because I forget like every time. But they were Allure red, and Allure is the I'm Not Really a Waitress red, and black lace using a stamping plate. But, where it went? One of my stamping plates. I think it's this one. Yeah, this one, which is the Love and Marriage plate. I used this one, and it has a little scalloped edge. So we did it kind of at an angle with this black lace, and so they all had like a scalloped lace edge. It was so pretty. So there's just things you can do with stamps that you can't do by hand, and lace would definitely be one of them. Alright, so to try to make sure that my shaping is going to be consistent, and because the majority of the shaping I'm doing that is like push hard is going to be on the sides, I'm going to go ahead and do my free edges on all of these at the same time. You can use an e-file for this part if you want, but because I'm doing almond, I just feel like it's going to take me more time to pick up and put down my e-file than to just get going. And we're just doing a rough shape first. Then you're going to go make a fist, do this, see if they feel okay or if they're too long. Because that's usually how people gauge their length. You're going to be able to handle that. That's what you're here for.
I know. Okay, well, am I going to be bald in my fist?
Not so much. But usually that's how people will gauge if they're going to be like, yeah, I can function with that. So, you don't have to function too much. Just tell your grandma you need to be the princess for a while.
Yeah. See how that goes.
So now I'm going to do my file schedule, which for me is cuticle first, because I've already done the free edge shaping. Then I'm going to hold the nail and look down the barrel. And I'm just checking this. I'm going to hold the nail, look down the barrel. Holding my file down, I'm going to be gliding back and forth. You don't want to bounce, because this is two things. It takes twice as long and you get indents all over the nail. So hold the nail well and glide from one side to the other, looking down the end to see where your bulk is. Okay, so I'm looking at this part of the nail here. So now I've gotten this pretty smooth and thinned out on the free edge. So you can see if I cover my finger over it, it's nice and thin around the free edge. That's what I want. You don't need a lot of strength at your free edge. Okay, then I'm going to hold it and look at it sideways, and I can see there's a higher arch here. So now you can see the shine is still in the middle. That's what you want. You don't want to be hitting that first. A lot of new nail techs, the first thing they do is put their file on the nail and start filing. That's the last place you want to file, because that is your strength. So I'm just going to blend it and make sure my arch placement is where I want. And you can't do that looking at it from the top. You need to bend and look at it from the side, which my back doesn't love. But we're just going to pretend we don't feel it. Okay. And I used my 100 grit at the beginning of filing her nail, and then I switched over to my 180 grit because now it's just a lot easier to work with, right? And you don't want to have a lot of product taken off at that point. All right, let's check it out. So I'm looking down the barrel, making sure sidewall to sidewall is straight. Okay, I want to check and make sure that my file sits straight on there, that it's thinned out, and then from the side that I have a nice shape to the side. Then we move on. It's interesting hearing me say all the things that I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm looking at them.
You just think I plop stuff on there and there's no thought to it. But there's thinking. When I'm going around the cuticle, I'm going to keep going until I feel like there's no line of demarcation there. I want it to be totally smooth. Do you see how that completely disappeared now? Now I know that it's smooth from the natural nail all the way up. If you can see a straight line, it's not smooth yet. So make sure you blend that until it's smooth. See this side? You can still see the line. Blend it until it's smooth and there's no line. Okay, then you hold up, look down the barrel. Okay, I'm looking to make sure side to side it's equal coming out. Now I'm going to go down and glide. And when I'm gliding at an angle. Okay, I'm not gliding flat and I'm not gliding like this. I'm gliding from about where the arch should be all the way to the end. And that way you get a nice gradual shape. Okay, after I've got my free edge shape done how I want, then you're going to look at the side and look where your arch is. Now you can flatten out your arch, bevel it to the cuticle area that you've already filed. Make sure your arch placement is where you want it to be. Hello. Switching over to my 180 side, and I'm doing that just so that I'm not taking off as much product and it's just getting smooth now. And then making sure that my almond shape is similar from nail to nail. check it all over. Okay. Looks good. She was worried that her nails would break. Girl, they're breaking. You can't break these.
No, the shape, they say that they're fragile. Because
They are.
longer they get, it thins it out, right? So.
I mean, if they're structured correctly and you're not smashing them into the bottom of a cooler, then they will not be a problem. I say that specifically because I had a fire client once because she kept breaking her nails. And I said, you need to go shorter. These are too long for your lifestyle. If I see you every week and you have a broken nail, they are too long for your lifestyle. You have 4 babies under the age of 5.
Oh.
And she was wearing stilettos longer than you.
Ooh.
And she'd break one every week. I'm like, what are you doing? Because there is so much product on these, they should not be breaking. You have to be hitting these crazy. And so the last time she came in and I said, we're going to need to shorten these next time. These are too long for your lifestyle. She goes, well, I don't want them shorter. And I'm like, I'm not going to keep doing these when you're breaking them that often. Because not only did she say that, she wanted me to fix it for free. I don't think I should have paid for this one. I'm like, I didn't break your nail. I can guarantee you there's no one else that's had to come in here with a broken nail either. And she didn't like that. So I had to fire her. She was nice until then. But you gotta make sure you can handle them for your lifestyle. If you're slamming into the bottom of a cooler and breaking them off.
Well, I know next month they're gonna get cut down.
So this new set has a short, long life. You might get used to them. You never know.
No, but when they grow on, I like the thicker, or I'm bad at explaining things.
Square shape?
No. I used to like square shape. That used to be my shape.
That was your shape when you came in.
Yeah. But since I take care of my grandma, I've been round, short. But that's kind of like a boring lifestyle. I want to be young I want my nails to be young for a minute, so we're gonna see.
So now I'm going to check length from side to side to see where I'm at. This one's a little too long. Cuticle to tip, they should be about equal. If any of them are going to be longer, it needs to be this one by just a hair.
Why?
Just ideally though, cuticle to tip, you're equal. From here to here, they should be side by side. You should be able to have them equal. But you definitely don't want, like, if one of them is going to be longer and not look longer, it's going to be the middle one. Because it's usually a wider nail bed, so optical illusion, if it's a little bit longer, it's not going to look off balance. The other ones, if they're longer, definitely is going to look off balance. Alright. Everyone's quiet. No one said anything for a while. Is everyone still with us? Alright. Side to side. Get there right into that sidewall. So blending all the way around the cuticle. Blend, blend, blend.
What is it? Almond and stilettos the hardest shape to master?
Maybe. I think the biggest problem a lot of people have is making their shapes consistent. So having one not be more pointy than the other. You want them all to be, if you're looking at them, you want to be able to tell that they're all in the same hand and they belong together. So go around the edges. Okay. Gonna check underneath, make sure everything is straight out.
Have you ever did duck nails?
Hell no.
Asking your son. Who wants it?
No. Will never, can never, won't ever. I'm like, Do people realize duck nails are a result of someone who didn't know how to do nails messing up and someone going, oh, look how cute my nails are? Not on purpose. That is a mistake. And then people did it on purpose. But I can guarantee you the first person that did it, that was not on purpose. They just didn't know how to shape the nails. They probably glued a tip on to a flat nail. When you glue a tip onto a flat nail, depending on the type tip it is, it'll flare out like that. So what happens, you end up with duck nails. And if you don't know how to shape a nail, then you're going to get duck nails without shaping the nail. Someone went and had their nails done like that, I think from that TV show. She got her nails done like that and thought that it was on purpose. And then from then on, there's nail techs who would do it on purpose. I cannot, will not. I feel like it's Dr. Seuss. I cannot, will not in a box. Cannot, will not in a box.
What's your favorite shape?
I really like almond also. I think it just elongates the fingers really nice. Looks really pretty. I don't mind a tapered square. Not necessarily coffin, but a slightly tapered square I think looks really pretty also. That's kind of the square shape I've been doing forever. Glendo calls it nails. Most of my clients are square with a rounded edge. But like I always do a slightly tapered square, so they're not like totally square. They're slightly tapered, which gives a longer, more slender appearance. But I do have a lot of almond shape as well, definitely. Alright. Length to length. Hey, look at that! Pat myself on the back on that one. That was perfect. Look at your nailsies. Tammy's got to leave us in a few minutes. She drives bus and has to take kids home. Well, thanks for joining us, Tammy. All right. Yes.
No, I was saying that I went somewhere else and they did acrylic, like this with the extension, and it was so heavy.
The weight is a huge difference. And I'd say for someone that switches from acrylic to gel, especially if you do it in the same 24 hours, the same day, like say you get it soaked off and then put new nails on, that is the number one thing people notice. And they may never have noticed that acrylic was heavy to begin with, but when they switch to gel, they're like, I feel like I have nothing on my nails. You really, really notice it when you do that switch in the same day. The weight difference is vast because this whole jar, and you guys saw how much I used of it, this is 1.5 ounces. Think of 1.5 ounces, how much liquid that is, and how much liquid you have to put on liquid and powder to do a whole set. So just the liquid alone for the liquid and powder adds so much weight. So it just, the weight is vastly, vastly different. It's a little heavy on that side, so I'm making sure that that comes down right.
Yeah, I think that's when you first moved from Bellevue. And I went there. Oh, sorry, that's that. Okay. With the chickens.
With the chickens?
Yeah.
Where were their chickens?
What was it? Country Village or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
the chickens were nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was such a nice salon. So sad they tore it down.
I know.
Rude.
It's like what is it? Senior living place now?
Yeah. Cecile said that the style, I think she's talking about the style, was trained after probably duck nails. Good, good. Good, that's good. And then disappears on me. I noticed that wearing gel versus acrylic at the outside air temp affected how cold my hands would feel. Interesting. It's been a long time since I wore acrylic. I did acrylic on myself when I first started because I knew nothing about gel. And back when I was in school, there was a gel educator who actually came to our school. Wearing acrylic felt cold. Interesting. I hadn't heard that one. There was a gel educator that came to the school, and I was like, okay, I want to learn how to do this because I think my high school boyfriend, who I wasn't with anymore, but his mom had been wearing gel, and I'm like, I don't know anything about gel. So, these are good and sticky and sometimes super sticky. I'm going to grab a new file because this is so much filing that it's going to take me twice as long to just use the same file I've been using. So, pro tip, when doing the full set, use a file on each hand. It'll make your life easier because this is already getting too smooth. What do you think? How do they feel? Is that exciting?
I gotta get used to this point.
You gotta get the art on there and everything.
Your hand and everything, but oh my gosh.
So, when I was in school, I'll finish that story.
Oh, okay.
I forgot that I was telling the story. I had a gel educator that came to the school, and I wanted to make sure I was doing it right because I've been doing acrylic before I even went to school on myself for a couple years. So I was like, okay, I'm pretty good at acrylic, I'm fine, but I'm really interested in this gel stuff. And I asked every single step of the process. Is this right? Is this right? Is this right? Made her come look at what I was doing for every step. And it was a girl that I was using as my model, one of the hair girls. And I'd been doing her nails for months at the school with no problem. And so I was like, is this right? Is this right? Oh yeah, that's right, that's right. Did that the entire 2 hours. And then within a week, her nails were all breaking. And I'm like, gel sucks. Never doing it again. And so my first introduction to gel was that it was not as strong as acrylic. So many of you out there that are newer nail techs, you probably think acrylic's better. It's faster, it's easier, it doesn't break as easy. And it's simply because you don't know how to do it right. So after that, I was going to trade shows all the time, and I would sit at an educator's table and stalk them. And I would just have them do nails on me, and I'd watch what they're doing and listen to what they're saying. And I learned the major importance of structure. And what that educator that taught me gel did not teach me, and what my school didn't teach me, of course, because I had a Supercuts hairstylist as a nail teacher, was anything about structure. So my nails were thinner and flat to try to make them look natural, because that's all I knew. But a poorly built gel nail will break 10 times faster than a poorly built acrylic nail. So acrylic should have an arch too. But if you don't build an arch, it's still going to hold up longer than a nail that's done with gel with no arch, because a gel nail with no arch is more flexible. But if you build your gel nail correctly, it's going to be stronger than an acrylic nail. So that's what I learned and tried again. And people were like, okay, I like this stuff. This is amazing. And so that's when I started really getting into doing only gel. So I don't do acrylic in the salon ever. The only time I pick up as acrylic is when I have to do it for competition, and even then I'm like, oh my goodness, I feel like I need to be practicing this for a long time before I try to do it in competition. And normally I don't, so I have to rely on, is my shaping going to be real good? Because my application is not so pretty. And luckily my shaping will save me. So then going down the barrel. So Now we're going to be checking shape again and length again, because a lot of times I make one hand longer than the other. It's inevitable. See? What does that mean? That means now I have to reshape all these, which I should have gone through and done this part on all 10. Rookie mistake, y'all. Shape your free edge on all 10 so that you can get an accurate length before you do all of your shaping, because otherwise then you got to come through, shape them again.
Well, that's my fault too, because I'm so busy looking at it.
No, it's me. I should have done all 10, but you were still curing the other hand, and so I didn't bother, and I should have. Then I wouldn't have to go through and reshape these, but it should go pretty quick. Now, if for some reason she was like, no, I don't want to lose any length, then I would put a form on this and make that one longer again. But it looks like, in general, this hand I had made a bit shorter, because I'm not perfect. I'm a nail tech. I make mistakes, and not checking the length on all 10 at first chance I get is my mistake. But it's a quick fix. I think it's probably going to cost me 2 or 3 minutes of refiling these. Not too bad, but of course you want to try to avoid such mistakes. I had her check that the length was good, but then I didn't check my other nails. Bad Jessica. Need a beverage. So for thumbs, I kind of look underneath to see how far it is from the end of the finger to the thumb and try to have them be about the same. It's impossible to measure from cuticle to tip because it's not going to be the same. I know that there is an exact mathematical, like, it should be 80% the length or whatever, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Allie would know, because she's a major competition guru. She remembers all that stuff. I don't have it in my head enough. I didn't do enough competing. I did some for a couple years. It was fun. Got some awards, but it becomes very expensive, and then COVID hit. So, you know, that changed. That changed a lot of competition life for sure, because nail techs everywhere weren't going to competitions, and nail pro competitions like ceased to exist, and now it's pretty much Nail Olympia and nail camp. Does that feel like a better length anyway? You're like, I don't know, it's still hard. She goes from the square to the almond in no time.
Just so undecided. Yeah.
That's okay. You did all your decisions when you got here, remember?
Yeah. So you can't talk about me with that.
Okay. She had colors and pictures, which I'm telling you does not always happen.
No, it does not.
And if she's after people, a lot of times she'll be like, what you got on? All right, I'll do that.
It's too many colors, and they're all pretty.
Mm-hmm. Then
you got foil, then you got glitter. Then you got things that change colors. Damn! Like, it's too much.
So sorry.
Oh, if I do it, I'm going to pick the same color. It's going to either be blue, green. Yeah, blue, green, red. Yeah. Maybe red for the holiday or something like that. But other than that, I can't do it.
But you're doing pink today.
Yeah, I'm in a little mood for Valentine's. February.
I feel like January lasted a long time this year.
Yes, it did.
Why? Isn't that weird?
I don't know.
Someone posted that on Facebook the other day, and I'm like, you are right. January was a long time. Seemed like 3 months and one. Usually a month gets to the end, I'm like, oh my god, I thought we just started the month.
It just seemed like a lot of stuff was going on in January.
Our house is coming along. Jared's been building walls inside, which is so exciting.
Oh, nice.
I know. Our exterior first wall is poured. So it's a concrete wall with foam on each side, so super insulated. Super strong. What?
I told my mom, I'm like, I'm not going to the mountain. I'm not going.
Who are we sending you to then?
Huh?
Who are we going to send you to then? Do you need to grab that? You got a watch on. Gotta love the Apple Watch, y'all. Because you come from Renton, right?
No, I come from Seattle.
Seattle. Oh, yeah, so this is real nice and close for you. Sorry.
It seems like it was in... If I come at this time, then yeah. But any other time, that I-5 north-south, you don't know.
Yeah, the
Especially
afternoon.
I-5 north. There's always traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I told her, I was like, yeah, Mom, I'm not going to the mountain. I guess I'm going to just...
I'm sure there's someone down there that can fit you in.
I don't see it. It's
You just need to come with a friend. Who else do you know?
Huh?
Don't you know someone else in one of my clients? Shayla, Nina.
Yeah.
Just carpool with one of them. You can all just hang out, have a cocktail.
Yeah, but it's hard finding nail people though, or nail techs. That's good, you know. They come with dime a dozen, but like good quality work, very hard to find. And I'm a person that I like to stick with a person. With my feet, I don't really, you can't get them wrong too much. But my hands, I don't know.
Hands are a little more
Yeah.
crazy. Stacy asked just what is on your nails. So I have a coat of Delicate and a coat of the new lipstick from the new Paradiso collection. So nothing super exciting. I want to do something kind of dainty for Valentine's Day because I'm always loud and busy.
Yeah, you are. That's
Just shocks everyone's system.
I know. You just got.
I'm not gonna lie. I've thought about buffing these a little bit and adding some glitter.
Oh.
Not gonna say it's not gonna happen.
That's too calm.
Yep. Gotta check your length, yo. Cuticle to edge. Okay. Okay, look on the side. Check your arch. Every time you spin it around, you can see how your arch is on top. Smooth that out a little bit. Then I flip it over to my 180 side. I'm going to smooth it out with that. And I try to stay on the nail and glide as opposed to bouncing too much, because the more you bounce, the more bumpy your nails are going to be. If If you want smooth nails without buffing, stay on the nail gliding. You can do it with a really light touch. Just make sure that this is all blended. So if you haven't yet, go around, make sure that you're totally blended around the cuticle. You don't want any product there that's going to create any kind of ledge. It's real important. So you can do it as you're doing it, or you can double check at the end like I'm doing, just to make sure that nothing is up. This little dot, that's just an air bubble. That'll get covered up by the next product we put on there. Almost time for fun stuff. Did I check your thumb length? Just a smidge. Everyone's so quiet. Anyone still hanging out with us? I don't know. It's now 10 a.m. I'm sure some people are going to have to leave to go do their next client if they were on a break. And just as we get going to the color and the fun stuff. Okay. Alrighty. So, can you get me that picture of the heart that you want, just so I make sure I do it the way you're wanting it? So, we have some things out. She wants a light pink and a brighter pink. So this is like a hot pink. Oh, that might be too bright. Let me switch that up. This is a nice light pink. That's too bright. Let's show. I might use the pink I'm using. Oh no, that's a good one. So I'm going to use Divine. I think I'm going to use this one. Keep that aside. Kari says she's mesmerized by the filing, and Jay says she's off today.
I don't got the one that I don't know where it is.
All right, that's
but
fine.
I want the middle one.
The middle one.
Oh, the middle finger.
The middle finger with the heart. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what we're doing. We're doing some glitter.
Yeah.
And you want the bright pink. Do you want anything on these bright pink ones, or just a solid bright pink? Some glitter, the heart thing, pink. We can add decals or whatever else you want.
Okay. So the glitter, the heart.
Yeah.
Solid. And then I guess we can do something with that. What? I don't know.
Okay.
We can come up with something.
All right, well, let's ask the people. What shall we do on that third nail? I'm going to do 3 with art. You could do a lacy one. So I'm using Divine. This is going to be glitter, but I'm going to go ahead and use the Divine under the glitter as well, so that the glitter doesn't look sparse if it's not full coverage, but we're going to be layering. We're going to use something fun for the glue, for the glitter. Akari, I'm still trying to get your nail tech to know what's going on. She says she's having problems with Trinity, which I don't understand. So I'm trying to get her to, I don't know, tell me what she's using.
Now that's the one I wanted, the heart.
You want the heart. So how do you want the heart again? Did you take away a picture? You can't take away the picture.
No, I just wanted what is
but
it?
I need to know what the nail bed color is and all that. So this is
it's like a
pink. Just keep it here.
Oh.
Thank you. I'm like, she's like, trying to take it away again. I'm like, no, drop the picture. All right, so we're just going to be doing this as a nail bed color. So probably just go with some blush. This is blush. So, and this is what the picture is, so you guys see what we're looking at. So it's kind of just 3 colors. It's white, pink, and red, but we can use whatever colors she's wanting. I have an idea. We can use the pink that's going to be the glue for the chunky glitter on this one. Like a fade. That'll be pretty.
Look at you, see? I wouldn't have came up with that.
So again, this is Luxio Divine. It's a great pink. It's a really pretty color. All right, in you go, please. Oh, Akari says cat eye or chrome.
Oh, Ooh.
Check you out, guys. Coming up with some ideas. It would be pretty to do the chrome over this one, like the...
I never had chrome either.
You want one?
Yeah. Thank you, Kari.
Y'all are going to see all the things today. I think if we do the pearlescent powder, that would be really pretty, I think. Again, I really hate that Facebook makes the comments disappear. Akari, when you're bored, can you figure out why or how I can make it so when I'm watching the video, the comments don't disappear on me because I have to keep touching the screen? It drives me crazy. So there's a new stamping plate coming in that will be here, I think, in the next day or two. And it has a big heart with outlines, just like I'm going to be doing by hand. But if you're not a fan of doing stuff by hand, you'll want to get that plate because it'll work really well. I think you swipe left to keep comments on screen. I tried that. Maybe if I turn the whole screen sideways. Hey, maybe that'll work. We'll see if they disappear on me again. It's an iPad, and I had it up and down, and it says newest comments, but you have to keep touching it, otherwise the screen where the comments are is black. Oh my gosh. So yeah, see, it disappears. Weird. It doesn't matter which way you do it. It just disappears on me. It drives me crazy.
That's a pretty pink.
You like that? Yeah, see, you're all worried about what your hand looks like. Now you see what it looks like. Doesn't your hand look pretty now? Sees all those pictures of nails, and that's why she wants her hand to look, but ta-da!
Yeah, because they're all slender nails.
You
like,
too can have those. You do. It's like when you look at yourself in the mirror, you know?
Yeah.
Your perception and what it actually looks like can be two very different things. Dysmorphia. Nail dysmorphia. I feel like that should be an article. Nail dysmorphia. How we think our nails really look and how they don't. So often people are like, oh, I can't wear a color that dark. It looks so funny on my nails. I'm like, who told you that? You have been told wrong things. Your color can look fine.
Yeah, I used to be a tip girl when I was doing acrylic. I never liked it, the full nail polish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times people would do that because whoever is applying it will often not go far enough to the cuticle. I do sometimes see pictures where it's like, wow, their nails are brand new and they already look 2 weeks grown out. It's because whoever's doing them doesn't push back the cuticle very well and prep the cuticle. And then they don't apply it close enough to the cuticle that you end up with what looks like grow out when they're brand new. Which is why people feel like they definitely have to come back every 2 weeks because their nails look too grown out.
I know.
You can go a month and not have to have your nails look as
Sometimes
bad.
longer, depending on,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go longer. It's just whether you want to or not is the magical question. I think when COVID hit, it was really nice for nail techs to be able to show their clients how long their nails can actually last. You know what I mean? Because people are like, oh my gosh, my nails are just going to break. And like, you know, I'm seeing pictures from clients 2 months out, 3 months out, and they're like, they're still hanging on. I keep shortening them, but they're good. And I'm like, yeah, they will stay. They're not going to be filled. And then at some point, it gets to where they're not balanced and they'll break too easily. So then people would file them down a little bit more, but nobody liked it, that's for sure. Alright, then put those in. I skipped those middle two because I'm doing other things on them. So I'm going to just get all the solids going, and then we will focus on the other stuff. Well, and this one's going to have a fade, so it needs a solid base. So even though we're going to do stuff on it, it still needs full base. I should sing. It was kind of funny. I think when I saw the Ronin thing pop up, for some reason YouTube was showing me reaction videos. Did you know that there are people that literally just have like thousands of people that watch how they react to watching something?
Yeah.
What is that? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm
like, really? You just want to show people what you think of something?
Yeah.
I don't think no one wants to know what I think of things. They don't. Why do you care how I think? I mean, I guess if they're real funny. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. I always have appreciation for the people that are on TikTok, like the couples that have gazillion followers, and they're just posting videos like every day. I have appreciation for that because that is a lot of freaking work. I don't do edited videos. That's why y'all are seeing me live, because I don't have time to edit videos, nor do I have the skills to edit videos. So I don't, because it would just be a hot mess. So I look at what they're doing and I just have an appreciation for that kind of work because it's not work that I know. Just making sure that my color didn't come out to the front and create a thick tip because I don't want that. Alright, so now we're going to do, let's do glitter first because why not? So, I think you liked this one as a base. So this is the Hello Pink number 5. Or do you like this one? Fuchsia Ice. Because this is closer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we like that one. Hold on, beverage. I'm talking too much. All right, so I'm using Fuchsia Ice. This Profiles Glitter Bomb. It's on my site. And I'm going to cover this whole nail and not cure it. This is my glue. Okay. Oh, great color, huh? But I don't think I'm going to fade it on here. I don't know. I haven't decided. Do we want it faded on there or do we want a different glitter faded on there? Like maybe we do this glitter faded on there. But it's so different.
I thought Cardi told us to do a chrome.
Right, chrome. I forgot. My bad. Chrome, yes. Akari told us to do chrome. She was listening to you, Akari. Tell Mark I said hi and I'm so excited to see you guys. Countdown, 14 days. Yay. We're flying down LA. So I'm just grabbing glitter out of this little doodad. There's all kinds of fun shapes. I don't think I want any of the flower shapes on here. Because we're sticking to Valentine's Day shapes. But we do have some hearts that are welcome to the party. They're kind of like a clear, like mylar heart. So it's kind of fun because when they hit the light, you'll see that it's a heart, but they're kind of hidden. So again, this glitter is a loose glitter. You cannot buy this glitter, but you get it for free if you order from my site. In the next week or so, I have a little bit left of this one, and then I'll switch it up and maybe send out like St. Patty's Day or Mardi Gras glitter. Maybe Mardi Gras this year. I don't know. Do you guys want St. Patty's Day glitter or Mardi Gras glitter this year? I feel like I did St. Patty's Day last March. And I do try to mix it up a little bit. But if you have an opinion, let me know. Good. There's another heart. And there's another heart. Right there. So this is also called encapsulating glitter. And you can cover this with a thicker gel, and I'll be using Trinity to cover this instead of just top coat. Because if I try to just top coat this, it's going to be bumpy, and you're going to have to file it. My goal is to not have to file, but I'll top coat it with Trinity, and if there still ends up being bumps, then I'll buff it real quick and top coat it again with just regular gloss. But that's kind of how I gauge how the top coat's going to work. Trinity is just a slightly thicker viscosity, so I can usually get over the glitter and it will not stick out too much. But it just depends, because when you're putting down things like shapes, like hearts, sometimes they sit and they don't roll. So when you top coat it, there is a little bit that sticks up. So we have to work with that. All right. Then we're going to go ahead and do the first thing of White Cecile. Oh, I feel like this is going to require a major poll, because so far we have one for St. Patrick's Day and one for Mardi Gras. I need a brush, a nice brush, not that one. This one. So I have a brush set on my website that has 5 of these liner brushes, and I like this kind of medium brush. Just going to make sure there's no glitter on it. So we're going to be doing this heart on this nail. So I'm using the Le Chat white, and you can use accents. You can use accents line art also. This just happens to be what I grabbed because it was with my other liner ones. And I was going to use the brush in it, but I see that I must have pulled the brush out because it probably wasn't straight enough for me at some point. I don't do a ton of hand painting, and so sometimes I just feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so not great at it. Don't giggle, then you move. Then I'm definitely not good at it.
Oh, sorry.
You're not allowed to laugh at me when I'm trying to make it pretty. Perfect.
It's gonna be pretty. It's not like I'm doing it. I was doing it. Yeah.
I know, but I'm so picky and I want each side to be completely identical, and they're not. I think I'm going to switch brushes and redo it because it's off center and I don't like it. Let me try a little bit thicker gel. The white liner is a little bit thicker. Line it to white. And so sometimes that works a little better. And I need a shorter brush. Sometimes it's all about the brush and stuff. What you're going to do. So this is an Uber Chic brush that I have. It's on the website. It's teal. But I like it because it is a nice little pointy bit. Alright, so we're going to go. It's going to help if I can create some guidelines of where my heart's going to be, right? So I should have done that the first time. But this brush has a little bit more control for such nonsense. See, if I had that new plate that's coming out that has this heart that's all these lines, I probably would pop it out and be like, no problem, here you go, and then it's perfect. Instead of relying on me and my imperfections. Trying to hold that grab. So you don't have to worry about the little bumps in the white that you see. That will disappear when you top coat it. I'm not a fan of things that are not perfect when it comes to nail art. Because it also takes time and I'm always like rushing for time. Right now I don't have to rush for time, which is what also makes it take forever because I'm like, I can change it again, mess with it a little bit more. Sure, this is what everyone wants to be doing right now, is watching me try to make a perfect heart. There. Well, and it's white, right? So it's like the most obvious one. Okay, that's close enough. All right. In it goes. I'm going to top coat that one too, actually. Come back out. So the one I'm going to do chrome on, I'm going to use a coat of Outshine. Because you need to have that layer on there ready to go to rub in your chrome. So, make sure it's smooth, there's no lint, because that will show up in your chrome. Okay. Okay. Let's do glitter. Glitter I can do. It's so much easier.
I know.
It's always funny, you know, with nail art, the running joke is always that, oh, you messed up, just cover it with glitter. It's fine. Isn't that color amazing? Pink ice. No, fuchsia ice. fuchsia ice, y'all. Love it. So pretty. Glitter, glitter, glitter. I'm always worried to put background music on because if, like, the algorithm hears it or something, then it will, like, make your whole video mute. And that would be a problem for people that want to actually hear what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. So, I guess I need to figure out what music is not going to mute me.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise they mute, which is not ideal. What do you think? Just over there playing with her nails. So fun.
I like the color.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
Yes, good. So this glitter is cool because there's so much clear bits that it really shows the color underneath a lot. So depending on what color you put under it, it's going to really change how the glitter looks. I like this fuchsia bit because it's a little darker and then you get some dark and some light.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we need one more heart. Give me one more. There. Heart. Okay. There's that. Cover this up so I don't spill it all over the place. Press and Polish says it's pretty. Alright, here we go again. The hardest part of my day. Hand painting a heart.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's guidelines that are supposedly ideal.
I see the reason why you have the stamp stickers, whatever.
It's because a lot of this stuff just takes a lot of time and it's not perfect. You know, and some people want perfection. But it is funny because sometimes clients are like, I'd rather you hand paint it. I'm like, yeah, but you realize it'll be way more perfect if it's not. Like, I don't care if it's not perfect. It's art. I'm like, okay. If it says, I have taken a lot of classes on like how to do careful, don't move right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How to do a lot of like really in-depth painting, like characters, faces, things like that. And you like make grids, and then you take a picture that's a reference photo, and you break up the grid into more grids. And so when you're working on it, you're not actually working on the face as a whole. You're working on, you know, that square and the next square, and you just want to make the squares all match up. So it's a very different kind of situation than something like this that's kind of just more of a freehand, try to make both sides match situation. Not too bad that time. Okay, and then outshine for the chrome one. Okay. So there's all kinds of chromes we have. We have one that's like it's called rainbow. It's like an iridescent. We have one, this is like a pink, but I don't know if that's like the kind of pink you're going for. Or I can do the silver pearlescent, or, yeah, probably this one is what I'm going for. So this one is accent silver pearlescent powder. And this is what's going to give you that real pretty effect that people are loving these days. Okay. So it's not going to change your color too much, but it's going to make it really cool.
Oh, that's pretty.
You like that? That's pretty. I'm going to close it because these get messed up so easily. All right, we're done with the white. Then we're going to do pink, and then we're going to do... Do you want to do the fuchsia on the very tip then?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to take the brush out of this liner. So I'm using again the Lachat Gel Art liner. And there's some liner gels also from Profiles that are really great. I think we even have a pastel set that gets real popular real soon because it's almost to Easter. If I was doing a lot of nails, I would just drip a bunch of this into a palette. But since I'm only doing 2 nails with little lines, I'm not going to bother. Just trying to decide how thick of a line I want. I want it to be like there, so I feel like I need a little bit thicker of a line. Okay. So quiet. Don't laugh. I guess it's good to be quiet because then you don't laugh.
I don't want to move because I don't want to.
It's hard to make everything go exactly where you want it to.
This is how I have to have it if I'm parallel parking. Gotta be quiet.
You probably have to parallel park more in Seattle than I ever do. I don't go anywhere that I have to parallel park.
Really?
Mm-mm. I'm far enough from Seattle. I mean, if I go to Seattle, I might have to, but I don't really go there very often. It's there, but it's not something I go hit up. If you guys are coming to camp this year, it's right outside of Seattle, so if you're wanting to see Seattle, you can come in earlier. The chrome. Yeah.
Chrome. Listen to me. Well.
She caught it. Here we go. Again, this is the silver pearlescent powder, and it gives this like perfect effect to your color without really changing the color. So you can do that on any color, and it's going to give it that full look.
Have you did the chrome with the cat eye?
With cat eye?
Yeah.
I guess I'd have to see what you're talking about.
With this.
Alright, so then we're going to do the rest of this lovely heart with our fuchsia. There you go.
Nice.
It's pretty
Check you
cool.
out.
I mean, it's not perfect. I hate not perfect, but it's about as good as I can do, y'all. I'm not perfect.
It's perfect to me.
Then that's all that matters.
Yes.
It looks like she came out of the light before this was done curing, so it gets that little bit of wrinkling. It may or may not show up in the final look, but you need to go in the light, honey.
Oh.
And keep it in the light.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, when you take it out of the light before it's cured, then gravity moves stuff and you get wrinkling, or it's just too pigmented and it didn't cure super well. But kind of cool, actually.
It only do that with color, though, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
The darker the color.
Yeah. It kind of looks like a texture that I did. That's really actually kind of cool. Looks like a lacy almost bit. Someone asked, just say I did something special, because it kind of looks cool. I like it. Sometimes it's called happy accidents because that looks really neat. Alright, in you go. How much do I charge for this in your salon? So this is a long nail art set. Do you remember what it was when you booked it? I have to look. I think 140?
No.
160? Something like that.
I don't know.
Alright, so with your chrome, you always want to file the edges before you top coat. Super important, otherwise your top coat will just flake right off, which is no bueno. Then I use a real soft brush to brush that dust off, because if you use anything harsh, you're going to end up with issues. And then I'm going to top coat. This is with Trinity. I'm going to top coat the two important ones that are going to require extra love, which is my glitter and my chrome. So we're going to top coat those, and we'll come back and top coat everything with a regular top coat as well. So this is going to be encapsulating this glitter. So you don't have to worry about making it super smooth to start with. I want to get it on there and get it in between all this glitter. And then, after I have it on the whole nail, I can come up and I can float a bit extra over it to see if I can get a smooth finish. I don't want to spend forever doing this. If I feel like it's just not going to smooth out, there's too much chunky glitter, I will just move on, buff it, and re-gloss it at the end. So you check your line of light. There's a couple spots that look like they are not going to want to be perfectly smooth. So I'm probably just going to, oh, we're so close. I think I got it, y'all.
I'm about to say, I'm just messing up. I'm so busy looking at them. Still putting them in.
So with chrome nails, if I'm doing a full set of chrome, I will go nail by nail and get it in the light, because the chrome is so slippery. You don't want it to shrink up on the sides. So just top coat one nail, switch, top coat one nail, switch. It doesn't take any longer to have it switch, as long as your clients know they need to pay attention to be going in and out of the light. Because I don't want any of the top coat to shrink away from the sides or anywhere. Okay? Alright, in the light, please. Alright, I'm going to do this glitter one. Again, first you're just going to get it on the whole nail. Try to get that kind of scrubbed in a little bit around the edges of all that glitter. Okay, once I have it on the whole nail, give me 1 to... I just saw that this other iPad's about to die. And if I want to be able to see if someone has a question, then I have to plug it back in. Alright. Hey G, how's your knee? Oh, see, even just leaving it alone for a minute, most of it had self-leveled all on its own. So it looked really good. What did I not do on this one yet? File. Okay. Have to file the edges. She looked at me like, you're quizzing me? Kind of.
I'm getting ready to.
You know what you're supposed to do. Good job. Use my real soft. This brush is from Clear Jelly Stamper. It's super, super soft, which I love. Okay, and then we're going to gloss over your whole chrome nail here. Making sure to get all the way on the sides. And this is with Trinity Clear again. The reason is because it's a hard gel. You're going to have better luck with it not trying to separate and chip off of your chrome. So you want a real good top coat, and Trinity Clear has some bonding gel in it, so you're able to get a little extra adhesion to that chrome, which is really nice. All right, in you go, please. So that's it for Trinity. She says it. Her knee's pretty swollen, but coming along. Do you have one of those fancy machines? My mom, I would change the ice out on her little ice machine a few times a day. And that kept it going. All right. Now we're going to top coat. And if you want to, just to keep consistent, you can top coat over the Trinity ones as well. Then they all have the exact same shine. It'd be pretty hard to tell the difference. But just for funsies, we'll top coat over all of them. And if you do notice that there's a little something sticking up on your glitter, this gives you an extra chance to just get it to lay down. See that little bit of white line that was in the white disappears once you top coat it, so that looks good too. And your Trinity has a nice tacky layer, so your top coat will stick to that as well. If you didn't want to top coat Trinity ones again, you totally don't have to. It's not necessary.
Girl, if I didn't pick up the first one, I'm not going to pick up the second one. Why not?
Someone's desperate to talk to you. That's a different phone. Mm-hmm. You have two phones?
Yes.
That's hilarious that she thinks that. And she doesn't hang up either, huh?
Uh-oh.
Alright. That is it. I'll finish top coat that one more time. Alright. Top coating. I hope this is focused, because sometimes I feel like when I'm looking at it on there, it does not look super focused. But I have this fancy cameras. They're supposed to stay focused. Oh, are we going to lose our cool design on the pink? Yes, that little bit of wrinkling that kind of made a cool effect. Smoothing itself out. I kind of liked it. I thought it was cool. It's a nice happy accident. So someone was asking about pricing. You really need to base your pricing also on time. So usually a long nail full set with art can take me up to 3 hours. So I think I have it at 2.5 or 3 hours. obviously it takes me a little bit longer when I'm talking on camera, which is why I went over that 2.5 hour mark. But you want to do your pricing based on that. And I haven't raised my prices when everything else is raised because I feel bad for everyone else, just like I feel bad for myself, because everything's gone up. But I have started to notice that I'm now like the least expensive nail tech in the area that uses what I use. So I'll probably have to do something about it, but I don't know. I'm moving in the next year, so I also feel like I just wait. That'll be fine. Which I know all my clients will be super appreciative of. All right, everyone. Oh, I was top coating that and it wasn't even in camera. I'm so sorry. I just noticed. Open. Okay. Gotta love the squeak.
Yeah.
It squeaks, you know it's good. Alright, and then I always go through along the edge, make sure there's nothing sticking down. All my top coat is smooth. Do it a little bit more sometimes on these glitter ones, just because just the glitter itself makes them a little whiter. So try to narrow that out just a smidge. And dust. And then we oil the crap out of her fingers because they're so dry now. Aw. Alright, Karen. My back still hurts. I don't think it's really healing, unfortunately. So, the end of February, I'll get another CT and see what's going on with it, and if they think I'm going to have surgery at some point, which can't be this year, so I guess we'll figure that out end of February. But it sucks. Unfortunately. Alrighty. Last one.
I like it.
She likes it.
That's the only thing about like longer nails, you know.
You feel like you're going to use your hands some more.
Oh, you talk more with
You
your
talk
hands.
more with your hands because you're like, yeah,
And-
look at my hands, look at my hands.
And the design, it looks so much better. It do on short hands too, but I don't know.
Some
You
gives
can get
it a little
more.
bit more oomph.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna say. Well, I'm gonna say next appointment. Something totally different.
Well, you might be like, oh, I'm so used to them, I'm never going back short again.
I know.
It could happen. Cassie says she loves watching us do nails, and thanks for sharing. She learns so much. Isn't that so nice?
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Ebony, for letting us go live with your nail appointment today. It's a rarity that I get to take someone long again after they've been short, so that's pretty fun. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. I hope you learned something new and got a couple of little tricks and tips out of them. And I hope you have a lovely Valentine's Day, and we will catch you next time.